years ago, client software became pivotal in MetaPower history. The diagnosis? A client company could not change workforce behavior to take advantage of improved computer systems. Despite the best efforts of our experts and their executive team, the strategy failed in implementation. It was an unsettling and expensive lesson. Work culture easily undermines perfectly drawn strategic plans. In fact, 90% of the business problems we observe occur in the handoff between people.
As we first got involved in the issues of change really in an organization, we were looking at implementing maintenance management systems in electric utilities, and we were looking at the development process, and we actually had a company that was doing a development precursor to the MetaPower organization. And it was really came up around some work that was done by some people around what became known as structured analysis, which was a very powerful tool to help sort out issues and understand what you needed to do, and also set up the capabilities for developing systems. But it was devoid of people. People weren't there.
Thus, understanding enterprise process is about understanding people. Regardless of how efficient a data flow diagram may look on paper, true business process is people taking action within the pressures of group culture, much of which is unconscious.
We had cases where people were making decisions based on significant risks that were really uncalled for, but they were driven by this cowboy culture of risk-taking. And so as we became involved in this, we began to understand that we could really understand and really draw a nice diagram about the way it was supposed to work. But unless we could get people to do it, it wasn't going to go anywhere. And so we became aware of this kind of a situation, and we understood that for us to be successful with our clients, we had to not just understand the structure and the technology, we had to understand the people. And we had to understand how we would take the people and interact with their value systems where they are, so we could introduce them to the value systems that it turns out it's embedded in the solutions, and those have to line up or it's not going to work.
Against a backdrop of client problem solving, our tech development group has cast our methodology into a cloud application, launching the only enterprise application that uses cultural criteria to align work processes with strategy, mixing technical systems and social systems. We believe combining hard parameters with soft science in this way will alter how change management is administered going forward.
The issue of our models and our approaches not really addressing people was not a significant problem for us for a while, although we did wonder about it and were concerned about it. But as we began to reach certain levels of success and needed to go to certain additional levels of implementation, we began to experience cases where it was pretty obvious that our failure to address the cultural aspects were having a negative impact on our success with the client, and also with the client's success in being able to move to the kind of objectives and results that we thought they should be able to achieve. And it got to the point to where we became seriously concerned about this and began to investigate the issue of culture and how it applied to the things we were doing and what the nature of it was. And so we've taken this to very, very seriously, and is incorporated into our whole approach, and where our models are basically, and our approaches are founded on the premise that culture is the key implementation issue, and that the old models and structures that we were developing earlier in our careers are now basically the benchmarks against which you have to measure the cultural issues, and as you go to put those in, they become the vehicles for exposing these cultural attitudes and provide you the opportunity to deal with them.
So understanding how human behavior and culture affects an organization's ability to adapt has added a new dimension to MetaPower services. The company is now retooled to address organizational culture as a central part of its approach to management consulting. In retrospect, this history of metamorphosis shows we are walking the talk, leading customers to continuous growth and high performance. If you would like to learn more about MetaPower, the way we do business, or how we can help yours, we invite you to visit our website or contact us directly.